The places he lived, and I've been researching where he lived during his years in this city. As far as I know, there were 7 firm addresses that Carleton lived in, and they varied from the cellar in Bridgefoot Street, where he shared it with vagrants and beggars and all the low life of Dublin when he first arrived almost penniless in this city. He then moved to Mary's Lane and to Moore Street, and after a brief spell there to Francis Street. And of course the great attraction in Francis Street was Marsh's Library, where he was able to read for free a wonderful array of books and manuscripts. And it was when he was reading in Marsh's Library that he met the famous Caesar Otway that Michael referred to. Now, Otway ran a magazine called The Christian Examiner. He was also involved with other Dublin literary productions. But Otway in many ways gave Carleton his first start in print. And it was through Otway and through the work that came his way, writing for him, that Carleton moved to, shall we say, his first salubrious address, and we find him out in Clontarf. Now, we can't be absolutely sure when he moved to Clontarf, but he was certainly there in 1842 when he wrote a letter to Sir Robert Peel. He may have been there from about 1840. He's not mentioned in any of the early Dublin directories because he's not well enough known, nor is he respectable enough. For example, the old Pettigrew and Oulton directories don't list William Carleton at all. And it's not until Alexander Thom is in print that we find Carleton listed year by year in that wonderful record that is Thom's directory. And if you want to use a very good set of Thom's directory, the Dublin Library in Pearse Street has a marvellous collection, has I think the best collection in Ireland of Thom's directory. Indeed, it has all the early Dublin directories prior to Thom, Wilson's and Pettigrew and Oulton and so on, going back to the 1730s. But it's Alexander Thom that first gives him an address, and he appears at number 3 Merino Terrace as W. Carleton Esquire, which of course the last little bit's very important because Carleton was always trying to rise socially in the world, and he was upwardly mobile from that date right until he died. Now, he seems to have been in Merino Crescent for 10 or 11 years, sometimes described as number 2 and sometimes at number 3. The other William Carleton, of course, in these early directories is William Carleton, Lady Shoemaker, a man, of course, that William Carleton befriended and indeed tapped for a subscription when he was down on his uppers. So we find there are 2 William Carletons, the Lady Shoemaker, who is also progressing in society and has a house away from his business place by the Dublin directories, while our man is in Merino Crescent. You can trace him through some of the letters he writes to important people, like Peel and George Moore, the MP. He writes to Sir William Wilde, he writes to Alexander A.M. Sullivan and so on, and we can date his floruit in Dublin from these letters as well as from the wonderful Alexander Thom. Now, in 1853 is the last year that Thom lists him in Merino Crescent, and then the next year he's in number 1 Rathgar Avenue. He has moved south of the river like most sensible people at that time. And he is now described as William Carleton, novelist. There are too many, I suppose, esquires about, and novelist was something quite different. So he is a literary figure in Thom's directory from 1854. And he's in Rathgar Avenue for about 14 years. He then moves in 1867 to Sanford Road, to Woodville in Ranelagh. And it was here, of course, that he spent his last few years when he was dying with cancer and suffering financial hardship. And as you know, there was a petition got up to get him a pension, a government pension, which did help him financially. He died, however, in 1869 in Woodville, in Ranelagh. I believe the house is demolished now. He was buried, as you know, in Mount Jerome Cemetery. His widow had to leave that house very quickly, and we find Mrs. Carleton, Mrs. Jane Carleton, in 7 Cullinswood Road. Collinswood Terrace in Ranelagh for the next few years. Now it's quite a respectable neighbourhood too. There's a doctor lives 2 doors away. There's a merchant on the other side of her. But her finances are also deteriorating. And although there's an appeal got up by various leading lights, including Sir Samuel Ferguson, to get her a fund, times are hard and she has to move to another address. And we find her at 6 Richmond Hill in Rathmines by 1878. She's gone from the Collinswood address, and that's a less valuable house. The valuations are given of the houses in Tom's directory. Some of them, are quite highly valued, and then others drop down to the £20 mark. She's still in Richmond Hill in 1881, and she dies there in 1882. Leaving 2 unmarried daughters, Jane and Mary Ann. And they also, they never worked, these girls. Carleton didn't allow any of his daughters to work. So he was trying to support a family at one stage of about 7 or 8 from his own earnings. Once again, T.P. O'Connor comes to their rescue, has a great concert for them, a great musical event which raises £60. He has a subscription which raises another 200, and they live on that for their declining years in various addresses. We find them then again moving to 101 Rathgar Road in the 1880s, and then one of the daughters dies, and the last remaining daughter, Jane, is in a small house in Dollymount in the later 1880s, and she dies there in 1895. So I've been amusing myself having pursued him around the Clogher Valley by looking at all these various Dublin addresses. And no doubt it's quite an interesting exercise, and thank you, Alexander Tom, for helping me in it. Thank you very much.